Are you tired of dealing with NelNet's constant mistakes and feeling like you have no choice but to endure the frustration? What if I told you there's other ways to deal with your student loans that greatly reduces your need to interact with NelNet? In this video, I'm going to show you the secrets that's going to save you a lot of time, a lot of money, and a lot of headaches with dealing with student loan forgiveness and NelNet. Now, how do we know these secrets? Because I'm the founder of FitBucks. We've managed over $2 billion with student loans. Much of that having to deal with NelNet. If you're new to the channel, welcome. We talk about all things money related for young professionals aged 18 to 40 years old, from paying off student loans to saving for fertility treatment, credit cards, savings, and investments. We also talk about news that comes out that actually affects you and how it affects you. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, be sure to do so. With that being said, let's jump into it. So there's 5 primary student loan forgiveness routes you can go through NelNet. I'm going to be talking about all 5 of those. And then at the end, I'm going to give you one last tip to dealing with student loan forgiveness and NelNet. The first student loan forgiveness at NelNet is the most common. It's when you're pursuing an income-driven repayment plan. So these are SAVE and income-based repayment plans. And some of you might still be on the old PAYE, pay-as-you-earn plan. On these plans, you make payments for 20 or 25 years, depending on which one you're on, and then your loans are forgiven. Now, when you actually go on to NelNet, you'll see that they have this quote-unquote recommendation engine. At the end of the day, they really can't recommend anything to you. By law, they have to tell you something very specific, and that's just simply what loan repayment plan do you qualify for that gives you the lowest monthly payment. So instead of going on to NelNet and using their quote recommendation engine, you should already have an idea and know which type of repayment plan that you want to go on because you've already built a financial plan. So for example, with FitBucks members, the process goes, they come on, they use our software and our experts to develop a plan, and then they know, hey, I'm going to go on SAVE. So instead of going to NelNet, they go straight to studentaid.gov/IDR and actually apply through studentaid.gov. They don't even go through NelNet because it's just a pain. Therefore, you can do the same thing. If you know which plan you want to go on, skip NelNet, go straight to studentaid.gov. Once you're on studentaid.gov, you can do the application, and you can also recertify your income once a year so that way they can recalculate your monthly payment. Therefore, you never have to deal with NelNet. The second type of student loan forgiveness at NelNet is in the news a lot. It's actually public service loan forgiveness. First off, you have to be on an income-driven repayment plan to qualify for PSLF. So the same thing applies. You go to studentaid.gov/IDR and you go apply for income-driven repayment plans. Also, NelNet doesn't deal with public service loan forgiveness. Therefore, you can submit the PSLF certification form, which you do so either by downloading the PDF, just Google PSLF certification form, and it will show up. And you can print that off, have your employer fill it out, send it in, or you can just go on to studentaid.gov and complete that document. Once they've processed that PSLF certification forms, your loans will be removed from NelNet and sent to a different loan servicer. Therefore, if you're going for PSLF, you don't have to deal with NelNet. The third type of student loan forgiveness at NelNet is teacher loan forgiveness. Now, at teacher loan forgiveness, you may be eligible for $17,500 of loan forgiveness after teaching for 5 years if you meet various qualifications. Again, just like with the other 2 types of loan forgiveness, you can Google the form, download the PDF, fill it out, and send it in. And again, don't necessarily have to deal with NelNet. Now I'm going to pause right there before I get to the last 2 plus the tip at the end, because a lot of you might be asking at this point, well, if I could just go to studentaid.gov, what do I actually have to deal with at NelNet for student loan forgiveness? The answer is if you get your payments back and there's like a mistake. For example, like if my monthly payment is supposed to be $200 a month and I get a thing back saying that it's $500 a month, then you got to call them. However, a lot of times, like with FitBucks members, we will figure out the problem why it's that way and then have them redo the application straight with studentaid.gov, and then they get it fixed that way, and it seems to be a lot more efficient. That leads us to the 4th type of student loan forgiveness at NelNet, which on this one, it's unfortunate that you do have to deal with them, and it's also for unfortunate circumstances. This is for things like death and disability, when they actually discharge your loans and say you don't owe it anymore. Unfortunately, you have a really bad life event happen, but you also have to deal with NelNet. There's no way around that. Now, the fifth type of student loan forgiveness at NelNet has to do with the SAVE plan and President Biden saying, hey, like if you owe $12,000 or less on your loans and you made payments for 10 years, your loans are forgiven. You don't have to worry about that right now because the court system put a stop on that for the time being. But if you want updates on that or anything else related to finance for young professionals, be sure to subscribe because we will definitely be updating you as we get more information on that. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is one last tip for student loan forgiveness at NelNet. If you have to deal with them for whatever reason and you just don't like them, you can't just change your federal student loan servicer. However, you can under one circumstance, and that's if you consolidate your loans into one direct loan. When you do that consolidation process, you can choose which loan servicer you want. Now, some caveats to that. First of all the loan servicers are not very good. Second of all, it might restart your payment clock. So you might not just want to do that just so that way you can get away from NelNet. The benefits probably aren't worth it. With that being said, if you want more help with student loan forgiveness,